big chance to make 80,000. He's bound and down. He's got a long way to go, and a short.
Test.
We've got a long way, a short time to get there.
Yes, man. What is going on? Let's pause this. Hope everybody's doing all right, man. Turn this down. Hopefully my internet's good enough here. We've had some, there we go, some problems with the internet. Good old Smokey and the Bandit. Eastbound down. Got a lot of money to make. NASDAQ opened up today, hitting that 70 RSI, man. So, what's up, Jose, Major, Ronnie? What's going on, man? Everybody remember, whatever you think about comes about. Whatever you focus on grows. This is purely for entertainment only. Not an accountant, not a lawyer, not a financial advisor especially. Just a guy at the beach, man, looking at the NASDAQ. And we saw the Qs, and I use this indicator here called RSI. It's been around for a lot of years, but it tends to be a warning signal, you know, not 100%, but it does alert you to possibilities that maybe the market's gone too far too fast. And that's all that really is. The relative strength index, which is the RSI, is the acronym. And that's what it is. Stands for relative strength index. And when that thing goes extreme, and here it is, the money flow is fractal, which means it can happen on a 1 minute chart, 5 minute, 15, 20, an hour, 2 hour, a weekly, or a monthly. But you'll see whenever that thing goes extreme, up or down, if you have any of my courses, I talk about this being a completed move, meaning from one extreme to the next, and that's usually a completed move. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going up, but that's what it looks like when it does. Like we got setting up right now, right there. So, and the thing about trading is a thing about probabilities, meaning you don't know what's going to happen. And the term trading is, you're making bets, maybe the word, even though it's not really bets, it's wagers, it's positions. You're making a position based on something you see. That's what the money flow is. I'm just looking for what I call a fractal pattern of price setup. You can kind of see it right here. Again, this on a lower time frame. We'll look at it on a higher, but I think it's important to see it in all time frames. And it goes up and goes over, and goes down and goes over and goes up and goes over. Now, it's really easy to look at it in the past, and that's probably what you figured out. And as you start to trade forward in real time, you're like, wow, this is not as easy. And it's not. But we see the Qs pushing up against the RSI here. Could go higher. If we look at, what does that mean, though? Well, if you look at, let me pull up the Peters report. Pull up the petersreport.com. This is just my trade log again. Just free public information here. Good video there on, if you haven't watched it. I need to put Sam Zell in there. Sam Zell passed away today. One of the great real estate investors of all time. If you don't know who he is, that's a fucking shame. that you've been on Earth this long and don't know who Sam was. Fuck, what am I looking for? Oh, going back to the board. Sorry. So go find out who he was, man. Super important. One of the greatest modern day real estate investors of our day. Here we are, market. These were things that I was looking at. I was looking for Lyft or Snap to do something, Pinterest, trees, and Lyft. Of that, we've seen Snap make its move. And last week, I was adding to Snap. Let's look at Snap real quick, and then I'll come back to the cues. This is what we saw last week. And we know one of the components of the money flow is that price stops where it stopped before. And that's pretty damn close. Close enough for government work. Let's see. And then on the 8th, I believe, if you check the newsletters, when I started adding, and anywhere in here we could have added. Then we got the breakout yesterday, and now we've got a little bit of a follow through going on here. Man, Q's just kept going down, huh? Yeah, we're getting hit now, man. So we had this big run up twice, and then now we're headed back down. So maybe play it easy the rest of the day. But we see Snapchat falling through. Does it keep going? I don't know. It's lagging the Qs. Maybe the Qs can hold here and then let some of these laggards catch up. So that's a nice little move out of Snapchat. Very volatile stock, by the way. And just keep using these times of volatility to slowly build your share position. Look at Pinterest, another one. Same thing. This is stage one. Big fall, man. And if you know the rule, once something falls, we don't know where the bottom is, but we know what bottoms look like. And they all kind of look the same, meaning they stop going down. And that's the beauty of a chart, is it can kind of give you some insight into that. And the first thing I'm looking for is like, okay, red candle, red, black. Now, you ain't got to be too smart to realize that black one is above that red one, which means we probably have a bottom right here. We don't know that, but that's what I assume. And then if I look left and I've seen that it stopped here before, that gives me a little bit more. So at least I got a couple things supporting my argument that maybe, and that's all it is. Nobody knows. But if I'm going to buy, that's when I like to buy after big sell-offs. Now, Warren Buffett said you should be greedy when other people are fearful. That's what this is. When the RSI, the relative strength index, goes the opposite direction, meaning it goes red, it drops below 30, created by Wallace Wilder anyway in the 1960s, this indicator. When that goes red, it doesn't mean for certain that the market's going down, but it is the first sign, kind of like driving and you get a yellow light. Means you might want to slow down, man. And we got a box here. And you know my deal. I'm waiting for price to stop, and I'm waiting for it to get above the 5-day exponential moving average, which is right there. What I don't like, and if you have my course, one of the things about moving averages that you need to understand is the spread, the slope, and price in relation to it. Meaning when these moving averages are this far apart, not a lot's going to happen. It's rare for something to just bang, boom, boom, and take off. Usually takes a minute. And as this goes sideways, you're going to see those moving averages turn sideways. And eventually the 20s and the 10, they're all going to come together. Moving average convergence, divergence. You're going to see a divergence or a convergence. And without that convergence, you don't really see a lot. Now, looking at the chart for Pinterest, it's horrible. Look at this. Above 20, below 20, above 20, below 20. This is like a cardiac machine. So not my favorite trading chart, but I definitely would look to pick up shares on these stage ones if it was me, if I was into such things. Let's see. Suntan. They know suntan. I've been working, man. Unlike you guys, I don't just lounge around at the fucking beach all day. Let's see. I got shit to do, man. If I go to the beach, it's because it's a tax write-off because I'm working on my properties. But I do break off from time to time. For a minute here, and then I go see what are the peasants doing. Let me go hang out with the peasants out on the beach and see what the normal people out here are doing. And I get out there and I'm like, God damn, I got to hide a beer. To hang out with the peasants, sometimes you got to hide your beer. Because we're in the land of the free. Florida State is free, just don't have a beer. You're free, just don't have a beer in your hand. Other than that, you're free. Well, and the other 10,000 fucking laws you have to follow. But other than that, you're free in Florida, the Sunshine State. Let me show you something on Uber here, by the way, as you learn about support and resistance. Pretty magical stuff. Notice the previous high is the new low. Isn't that amazing, man? Isn't that amazing? People say, Gerald, why you got to say mean things like that? Why do you got to make fun of the peasants, man? You might ask, who are the peasants? That's the people renting the Airbnbs, guys. Now, peasant's not a bad word. Is peasant a bad word, dude? That's the serfs, right? That's the people that work the land, that pay the rent.
But you know.
Oh, we can't call them. I can't.
Call me a peasant, that's not good.
Okay. Apparently, I can't call my wife a peasant. Let's see. That's not nice. They'll be calling the FTC. He said the word peasant. Yeah. So if we look at the SPY, don't let me lose track here. Look at the SPY. The SPY's trying to, it's pushing up against resistance. The SPY's not breaking out. We were talking about this in day trading room. About I was saying, hey, if the overall market doesn't get going, your moves in the Qs, the TQ technology, even though it was leading the way, we're going to be super tiny. But if we could get the SPY going, if we get the Dow going, those moves become enormous. And that's what we saw yesterday, literally shortly after talking about that. The SPY took off, Dow took off, and we saw this beautiful like $1 run in the TQ, and if you're sitting on 1,000 shares, man, come on, man. So, but if you look here, we're pushing up against resistance and price can't seem to get over it, man. So RSI is only 57. We're getting crossovers, so technically everything's looking good from stochastics to the moving average, convergence, divergent, and the TSI, which stands for True Strength Index, and the relative strength. That was a lot in one sentence. That's all pushing up against support. Now, something I'm seeing a lot. Chicago's own bought the Chicago Tribune. Something I'm seeing a lot. I get this a lot when people are kind of new to the money flow, or you kind of half-ass into the money flow, sort of into the money flow. Everyone thinks that the stage 3 is like some sort of exit point where, I got to get out and take my little money. I made $12, so I should take that and go, man, we're not trying to make $12, not trying to make $100, not trying to make it that. I'm trying to make money, not baby money. And so people will assume, well, it's got to go down. No, it don't. It could go sideways and then go up. So make shit confirm. Don't get out. It drives me crazy. People will get out of a trade because it went up. The dumbest possible reason to sell a stock is because it went up. It's dumb. That's not why you sell a stock, man. You don't sell something, I'm making money, I better get out of this. Does that even make sense? Imagine if you own real estate and you're like, oh my God, my house went up so much, I should just sell it. And then you sell it, next year it goes up more and more and more and more. It's never a good reason. I know that's going to push against some people, but if you sit and think on it, when was a good time to sell Amazon? Let me know what year that was, man. Get back to me. Let me know when was a good time to sell the SPY. Get back to me on that. Maybe your grandpa should have sold it. Back it up. Let's see. When was a good time? Over here? Well, yeah, looking back with perfect, you could have. But maybe over here. Maybe right here, man. Maybe right here. I mean, maybe if you were watching the market, you'd be like, oh my God, the weekly chart is so high. And so you'd be like, I've got to sell it because look how far it's gone. So it went from stage 1, stage 2 breakout, and then it ran up. And you're like, but I'm up so much, it has to come down. And then it just keeps going. So trimming is a way to scratch that itch, man. Trim a stock. Trim it. More detail about selling. Yeah, stop fucking selling. That's what you need to do. Now, if you're investing, there's no selling. Investing would be 10, 15, 20 years. If it's like, say, 2, 3, that's not investing. That's called position trading. You're taking a position in a stock, and when the stock reaches X point, you get out of it. Okay? That's called position trading. Swing trading would be like you're trying to catch just this move from down here to up here, and that's fine. I would scale out. But here's the thing, you don't know what the market wants to give you. The market might want to just keep giving you money. Maybe God wants to bless you. But you take yourself out of blessing because you get out of the trade. So, I got a whole chapter in the Money Flow on selling and trimming. And the problem when I start teaching this is people take this to their buy and hold, they take it to their dividend stocks, and that is not the purpose of it. Trading is trading, okay? This is trading. We're trading the TQ on a 1-minute chart. Bam, bam, bam. We're getting in. Even then, I don't get all out unless I get an absolute fucking sell signal, which is what? What is the sell signal? Let's pull it up. A stage 4 decline. Not my stop getting hit, by the way. I don't need stops, by the way. A lot of people will be freaked out. Oh, what do you mean you don't use stops? I don't use them. Fuck them. I can do what I want to do. I don't have to use stops. I can just watch the flow of price, man. So I watch the flow of price. Now, if you're not watching the flow of price, and maybe you need to use them. But this is a sell. Best time to sell is when price breaks down from a stage 3, closing below the 20-day moving average, and it confirms, meaning it confirms. Because why? It might want to keep going. And you're going to make most of your money from stocks that you didn't do shit, but just hold them and let them do what they do. I'm telling you, man, that's how you ride a Snapchat from $9 to 50, or silver from 5 to 55, or bingo from 50 cents to $15. You don't ride it and make 1,000% by getting out of it when you're up 30. And so keep that in mind, man. If you think being up 20% is a lot of money, that means you're new to the stock market and you're used to being a loser, because 20% is not a good return and it's not good, and you shouldn't be happy with that. Not if you're going to be an active investor trying to trade your own money. I would not be happy with 20%. That's crazy. Now you might get it. You get what you get. Look at Uber. Should we sell it? Now for me, this is a position trade, so I'm not selling it. You could take it down. I think it's going a lot higher, so I'm not selling it. See, that's where I'm adding fundamental research and information that I've studied the company. Like, I actually go out of my house and get in a fucking Uber, and then I start asking the guy questions, and I involve. And then, oh, here's something else I do. I read a lot, man. Listen to this. Let's see. Hold on.
I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biographies.
And other people tap dance to work. What's the secret of that?
You find your passion. You find your passion. I was very, very lucky.
Did you hear Buffett said he reads biographies? If you're inside of the Money Flow Trading Society's Discord, there's one in there you might not look at, but it's called Biographies, and it's players in the market, man. Go look. There's one in there, I think number 7 down is Sam Zell. Amazing real estate investor. Go read how he did it. It's pretty cool, man. But it's super important. Warren Buffett looks at biographies. Okay? You should be looking at biographies. Shit like Pizza Tiger. That's the Tom Mahaligan, or however you say his last name. He's the creator of Pizza Hut. Like, there's tons of these, man. You should always be looking at some biography, always looking at something that educates you in the market, and always doing something that educates your mind. Do all 3 at the same fucking time. Put 3 books open and read all 3. However you got to do it, 1 in the morning, 1 at lunch, and 1 in the afternoon. But you should be working on it, man. Listen, Buffett says he does.
To find it, when I was 7 or 8 years old, and fortunately, my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like everything else, and all 3 of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it, and news that come on. I say, take the job that you would take if you were wealthy. You know, you're going to do well at it. The most important thing.
In other words, he's saying do what you do for free. Closer you can get to that, the better, man. If you look on here, look at, like right here, look at on my board, DIA, SPY, QQQ, TLT, metals, oil, and Bitcoin. These are the big seven. What's number one? Now this was Sunday night. Today's Thursday, I believe. Go back to Sunday night. What's number one? The QQQ. What does that tell us? That tells us all the action's going to be in the QQQ. Most likely that it's the front runner, it's the head horse, it's leading the race as of Sunday night. And what tends to stay in what's in motion tends to stay in motion. So if we go look what happened the rest of the week, it's run up. Now it's banging the 70 RSI. Look at the Dow. The Dow's lagging. So if you're picking up dividend stocks, they're not going nowhere right now. Notice that? They're not moving up, man. So we have a split market, bifurcated market, by the way. Technology's going up. The dividend and the Dow stocks are not. What does that tell you, man? What does that tell you? So we had a big move out of the banking stocks. KRE is our position trade on that. We got a stage 2 breakout. A number of people had asked me, can I add to this today? And I said, send me my book back because you didn't obviously bother to fucking read it. So obviously you're not doing what Buffett does and read, right? Isn't that what he said?
5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast. I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours
Except the money flow. I didn't read that because based on my question.
a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10K. And I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading.
Now, most people will say you ain't got time to read. That's why you're broke. You're going to stay broke too. You don't like to read, stay broke. Good. Get you. Maybe go just watch videos and stay fucking poor because that's what's going to happen. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't read, man. You got to read and stimulate your mind. So there's a direct correlation between people who read and how much money they make, business ideas they come up with, things they do, strategies, implementing, reading, man. Now, some of that can be taken in audio. I'm not saying it can't. There's a lot of good audio out there. But what reading does is keeps you focused because you actually have to pay attention to what you're reading. When you're listening, you can kind of wander off and think. But you definitely got to implement some reading time into your day, man. I mean, you don't have to. You just stay broke. But it's super important, in my opinion. Now, some of that could be financial news, but don't do a lot of headline reading. You see that a lot where people are just reading headlines, just snippets. That is of no good. You don't make decisions based on 140 characters or what some dude said on Twitter. That shouldn't be how you do it, man. So get out there and read, man. You know something I get a lot? People will say, why'd that stock go up? Or what happened? Why did it go down? Let me tell you why. I'm going to give you the secret right now to all stock movements. Where are we at? Look at that. That's called a stage 2 breakout right there, by the way. Price closed above the 20, and now it's confirmed it. That's a buy signal in the money flow trading system. Now, that right there was the stage 1 buy. Stage 1 buy, stage 2 buy. Once it breaks here, it's over, man. It's going to, we'll see how far it goes, but it's going to run into resistance up here in the 44 range. Same thing you saw on Snapchat, right? Same thing you saw on Snapchat. That's a breakout. Right here was a breakout. Now there it goes. Oh, TQ's on the move, man. Are we on the move? Oh, look at this. Look at this. I had the timer off. Holy moly. Hold on. I got to take some profits, baby. Let's see. Now, do you see the stage 1? If you're in a trade room, I couldn't talk to you, obviously, because I can't talk in YouTube I'm pretty fucking awesome, but I can't talk and YouTube at the same time, okay? That's not possible. That's called a stage 1. Over here, called stage 1. There's a 3. Now look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See it? Look at that. Bam. Now here we go. We're running up, man. Where's the RSI? Now, why am I taking a game? Because over here I tried to get in. So that's a box. And so that box it's going to stop at the previous high because that's going to be resistance. It'll stop there. And if it gets through there, it's going to go to this one, which is a box. And it'll stop there. And if it gets to the next one, it'll go to there. And you'll see it. Those can be used. Not 100%, but they can be used. Let's see. Hold on just a second. MFG, I just sold half my position because I'm on Instagram and I can't pay attention. Or I'm on YouTube. Help me keep an eye on that. I'm going to leave these lines there. Let's see if that works out like I was thinking. And again, it's just guesstimations, man, because nobody knows. I'm just a small town boy from Arkansas on YouTube. I am not a financial advisor. Let's see. Where's Lyft? Lyft can get no love. I've been asked about Lyft. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's trying. But look at the moving averages here, man. Let's have a conversation for just a second. Come on, man. Close the door. Don't let you. Let's see. Let's take this up a little bigger. All right, stopped here. All right, new drink. Won that. There we go. See it? We've stopped here before. We're stopping here again. But look at those moving averages, man. See how far apart this shit is? That means it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. It'd be rare for it to. That's what that tells me when I look at it. That's the deep, dirty, dark message of the moving averages. I hope they talk to you like they talk to me. I hope they do. You ever just look at them and go, oh man, look how cute that one is. So look at the spread right here. And look at the spread right here. What is that saying to you? Should say something. If it don't, go back and read the book again. That spread is telling you that what, you know, I use the term broken family just so people remember. You know, your crazy fucking uncles, aunts, and cousins that come and disrupt the goddamn party, but you have to have them over because it's Christmas or whatever you guys do. All the holidays that people celebrate, and you have all these people over you normally wouldn't hang out with. That's this, man. But until they come together, not much can happen. That's how I look at it. You guys were like, oh, my family's not crazy. Everybody, we're all good people. Good Christian folks. Nobody causes any troubles. Let's see. Look at Hasbro. This is what's called a bread and butter whenever you get it below the 200. Now, the one drawback to the 200 is if things keep going, the bitch can keep coming down, but eventually it's going to hit it. Now, if you got in over here, you still made it. It's still up. And if you got in over here, it's still up, well, about break even. But hopefully you add it on your stage ones, add it on your ones, add it on your ones, add it on your ones. Now you might think, well, that's a lot of adding. Well, goddamn, that was March. This was last year in December. Over here was fucking November. Back here was October. So it feels like you've had a lot of fucking time to participate in this. But Gerald, it took so long. I know. Sometimes it takes a minute, man. And then bam, hits the 200. And the RSI is extreme. Would I sell any here? And look where it stopped. Previous high, man. Man, crazy, right? Would I sell some here? No. Unless I got in down here for the express purpose of doing the B&B trade, which means when it hits the 200, I'm going to sell some. I'm not doing that to my investments, guys. Okay? If you're selling, you're not invested. Now, if it goes overvalued, meaning you own Home Depot and it's trading at a 20, 30% premium, nothing wrong with every once in a while. Maybe you chip a little bit off to add to something else. But if you make a habit of selling your investments, what you're going to end up owning is just a bunch of shitty investments. And all the ones that did good continue higher and you don't have any money in them. So when your winners start working, let them work. Mr. Davis, how do you use Mr. Davis? Are you a T-Rex, sir? Are you a T-Rex? You ever see those dinosaurs? They call them T-Rexes. They got the little bitty hands. Is that you, sir? Now, don't call the FTC because I made fun of you. But would you say that? Uh-oh, look, we're coming down. We'll see. Are you a T-Rex, sir? I'm going to ask you a question before you ask me one. I'm running the goddamn class, sir. Are you a T-Rex? Do you know what a T-Rex is? Wait on his answer. What else are we looking at? Let's check it on AT&T. This is one that's been, I've been telling, I'm not interested in AT&T up here. Like, this is not, I had people wanting to buy it. Nah, it ain't worth it, man. I'm not fucking touching AT&T until it's like $14. When it gets down here, you know, down in this range, I'm interested. Otherwise, no, not really. Subaduya Davis, are you a T-Rex, sir? A T-Rex dinosaur? You ever see one of those? Where their hands are so small, it can't reach its wallet. Like, it just wiggles, but it just can't reach its pants. Because I feel like in my book, we cover that at pretty great length. The 5-day, the 10-day. Man, why don't you let me help you, man? It's the price of a sandwich, bro. I need a sandwich, bro. Help me out, man. You buy the book, I get to buy lunch. You get a lifetime of wisdom, and you make a new friend. And instead of making fun of you, we'd be friends. But now, feels like you're a T-Rex, sir. I hope you're not a T-Rex. Let's see. AT&T, I would not touch personally. And you say, why? Because it's in a straight downtrend. This thing has not, I have the book. It says the trigger line is the 5-day. Okay. So there you go. Stage 1, price gets above the 5-day. There you go. Stage 1, price gets above the 5-day. Now, all you're looking for on the 10 and the 5 is the crossover. That's all the concern there. What I'm looking for with the 10 is alignment. The 5 is above the 10 is above the 20. When they're numerically aligned, that tells me the trend is up until the RSI goes extreme. And if you look here, 20, 10, 5. So that's what I'm using the 10 for, is you could play around with the crossover. That's not really my thing. It's the numerical alignment of the 1 week, 2 week, and 1 month of trading. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? It's the numerical alignment. And if you look at this, let's say you just ignore the moving averages and you're looking at AT&T. All people are going to see is that it sold off. Okay, it sold off. That's not a good reason to fucking buy it, by the way. It's not a good reason to sell a stock because it went up, and it's not a good reason to buy a stock because it went down. Those aren't good reasons. Good reasons are fundamental analysis that is confirmed by your technical analysis. Two things, man. You right? And you, well, what do you mean fundamental? Meaning you read. You go read and understand the businesses. And what this is going to do is allow us to put in action a way to implement that fundamental analysis. Now, if you're just sitting here fucking day trading, yeah, you don't need to know shit about fundamental analysis. Right? So are we live right now? Let's see. Yeah. So we're live trading right now. Let me clean this up for just a second. Let's clean this up. I still feel like you're a T-Rexer, man. I think you should have got my course too, man. Don't be cheap, bro. It's hard for me to get rich if you're cheap. Couple things here. Let's see. Man, I wish I could buy my shit. I can't. I already know it. That sucks. So if you look at what we have going on here, we got stage 1, stage 2, and then what? We're going into a stage 3. Now, this is where a lot of new people sell it. Oh, I made some money. Let me take my $60 and run away. Let me be an awful trader just so I can make $60. That's what people do. We don't want to make $60, okay? We're looking to make hundreds and hundreds. So I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt that this goes up, especially if the 5-day is above the 10-day and the 10-day is above the 20 and the 5 is and price is above the 5. I'm going to just assume this 3 becomes a 1 and the price keeps going. because price can work off overbought conditions by simply going sideways. And when it does, you're going to see that RSI pull back, and then you'll see it break out again. Now, this may break down. The technicals are starting to come down, but we'll see. Price is what matters, man. Price. Focus on price. Okay? Price is what matters. Let's see. Hold on. All right, let's see. Let's see if it goes. The good thing about these smaller time frames is it lets you crash course the money flow. I know you got jobs, got this, got that. I'm looking at all the people on the beach right now. I know all you guys are envious. Oh, I'd love to be sitting on the beach with the suntan lotion on me and the jellyfish singing me and just sweating my ass off sitting at the beach. And then I get in the water. And then I could go eat some shitty food in town. Hey, let me go get some shitty fried shrimp in town with a bunch of kids screaming and all their fat people in their suits. This will be awesome. Oh, wait, maybe that's just my beach. I'm kidding, man. Relax. So I'm out. Let me tell you a story real quick. I'm out on the porch, and my balcony's oceanfront. I think you guys know that. Here, let's look. I'll turn it around. Don't tell my wife. That's her. So you see the beach out there, right? See those binoculars? So I'm at the beach, bird watching, of course. Wife comes out. What are you looking at? Pelicans, man. There's a lot of pelicans out here, man. Should see all these pelicans. Let's see. So I'm hoping we break through here. We'll see if we do. A stage 3 is a stage 1, okay? This is a 1. 1, 3. 3, 1. 2, 4. 2, 4, 4, 2. 2 is the opposite of a 4. 2 is an up move. 4 is a down move. They are exactly the same. Let me tell you why stocks move. I'm going to give you the fucking golden key. Stocks go down because people sold it. Stocks go up because people bought it. Mic drop. Yep, Sam Zell died. If you go into the Discord group, go under biography. I wish more people participated in that one. More people participate in the health and wellness one, I noticed, than the fucking trading one. Let's see. You guys are in the gym so damn much, you're going to have a hard time trading. Some of you are in the gym more than you trade, man. No wonder you broke. Let's see. But yeah, Sam Zell died. That's unfortunate. Fixing to trim this trade a little bit, okay? Because I can't watch it as close as you guys are. Down to 500 shares here. Now I'm going to start selling in increments of 50. Why? Because I don't want to get out too soon, man. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, man. I want it to run. Type in your email, GP, so my Urban Outfitters company valuation report. Why would I want to do that, bro? You don't know my email, bro? If you don't know my email, man, it seems hard to believe we're friends. Man, how the fuck are we friends? You don't know my email, bro. What's up with that, man?
How can other people tap dance to work? What's the secret of that?
You find your passion. You find your passion. I was very, very lucky to find it, when I was 7 or 8 years old. And fortunately, my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like nothing. He's like everything else. And all 3 of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it. And you can't guarantee you're going to find it in your first job out. But I always tell college students that come on, I say, take the job that you would take if you were independently wealthy. You're going to do well at it. The most important thing is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on and which ones are your capacity to evaluate. You don't have to be
Why is he saying you only got to be right about a couple? Because he didn't sell them. He's still holding them. That's why he only has to be right on a couple. Some will go down, some will go up, man. That's how it works. Yeah, bro, hit me up on Instagram, man. I feel like you should know my goddamn. If you don't own my book, don't send me shit, okay? Don't send me no reports if you don't own my book, man. It's hard for me to trust you. I don't trust any man that doesn't own my book, man. Look at that. We're breaking through. I'm going to say it again. I trust no man that doesn't own my book, to include Jesus. Let's see. Yep, we're running, man. So in real time, we're kind of seeing what I'm talking about here. Look what happened. Starting to bang up against that RSI, and then it turned around. Turned around, hitting that 200. We'll see. We'll let this play out. Man, that's all about all I got, man. Be careful here. If we don't get, let's check in on the oil trade. I have not gotten back in my oil trade, but look at the pattern on which we are. Oh, wait. Boom, we're breaking through. So my next target's going to be that 31.46, but let's say 45 range is where I'm going to take some more down on this trade. I'm slowly going to drip out of all of these shares. So when then it does turn on me, I'm going to have a lot less shares to the downside. That lets me give it a little bit of wiggle room because I've made money in going up. And in a perfect world, that's this is a completed trade, bro. Extreme to extreme is a completed trade. Extreme to an extreme, right? Completed trade. But it can hit the extreme and then go a little lower. So it could hit this and then go a little higher. Those aren't perfect, but they're just guideposts, right? What is the ticker for Urban Outfitters? Let's look at that now that you interrupted my class. Let's see. Urban. It's URBN. Man, this thing's been the same price since last year, bro. Come on, man. What are you doing? What kind of bullshit is this? It's been the same price since last December. But maybe that means it's just building a big base to head higher. I'm just teasing. But I wish you'd have sent me the report when it was $20. The fuck, dude? Let's see. Hey, Gerald, let me send you the report after it's gone up a bunch. Now I'm looking at the weekly. Now look at this weekly. I didn't pick this. He did. He interrupted my class with his bullshit. Now look. What does that look like to you? What does that look like to you? What does that look like to you? Do you feel like I made this up? Is this made up? Did I come up with this out of the fucking ether? Stage 1, right? There's your breakout. Tried to break here, but came back into the box. It held the anchor point, right? There's your anchor point. And there's your apex point. There's your anchor point. And there's your apex point. So we can back this up. And I don't know about you, man. That looks an awful lot like that. Even for a country boy from Arkansas, that looks like that. Now, look at this pattern. Look at this pattern here. And then look at this. And I'm sure you're going to see it. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what? We're setting up. Not enough for me yet. I need a little more. Come on, baby. Give me a little more. I need it to come up into here. I need it up in here. But you're just now starting to see those moving averages start to turn. You see them? My man asked, what do you use the 10 for? For these things, man. Where's it at in relation to the 5, 10, 15? What is it you're doing?
I'm eating lunch so I can go shopping.
Okay. So all I'm hearing in the background. What the fuck? I assumed it's going to 13. Oh, you assume it's going down, bro. So yeah, this is oil. So it's setting up for stage one. Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. All right, where are we at on the TQ trade live time, man? I need to just start sitting on YouTube live with this running, just watching the TQ. I wonder how long they let me stream that. I need to set up a separate channel just for streaming it, just 6.5 hours a day, just streaming. Chris says Boyle is having a nice breakout day, up 17%. Yes, sir. It is looking good. I didn't play it. Let's see. Yeah, big move, big day. Yeah. Let's see if it does it again tomorrow. You know, DPST had a big day yesterday, 20-something%. It's now trying to go positive. I think it was up 22% yesterday. Now it's trying to go positive again. So that's pretty cool. Hold on just a second. Look at Uber, baby. Damn. Got Uber going. Tesla's waking up. OOTO is back. I really thought that thing was going to fly. If you remember, instead of buying Delta, which I've been buying Delta, but I set a trade on Delta because I expected Delta to explode, and it did. But it stopped right at the resistance. I'm thinking Delta runs to $39. I was thinking of a play on Delta would be the 2x leverage travel ETF. It popped, but it didn't pop like Delta. So even a creative fucking genius like me can be wrong a lot. And that was one where I was wrong. Not my worst being wrong. My worst one was buying international paper instead of Amazon because they make the boxes for Amazon. See, that's what happens when you're smart. You tend to overthink it and do dumb shit instead of just buying Amazon. I had to outthink it and try to be smart. And I run into that whenever I coach or talk with smart people. You're so goddamn smart, you can't do smart things. You overthink everything. And I know because I did the same thing. And now I try to think, well, how would a dumb person think about this? And then if you do it that way, you'll find you'll probably do better. Because a lot of times doing nothing, just doing nothing. I mean, think about it. What has Warren Buffett done with American Express since buying it in the 80s? Nothing. What has he done with Coca-Cola since buying it in 82, continuing to buy shares until 89, and then just sitting on it since then? What's he done? Nothing. You know, what did he do with Apple when he bought it? Nothing. Sometimes it's all of our maneuvering and fanciness, covered calls and selling this and buying like all that shit. You end up further behind than if you just bought it and sat on it and just let it do what it does. That's been my experience in stocks and real estate. Now we're not talking oh, look at this. Bam. Selling some, baby. Don't worry about the lunch, T-Rex. I got it now. Let's see. So they're not taking you to lunch? Oh, you're just going shopping. Power shopping, baby. Don't spend no money, though. Hey, I'm going to do a GoFundMe account so you guys can help me pay for my wife's shopping.
I need a mirror. That's all I'm asking for is a mirror.
We got a mirror.
No, no mirror.
You get a little hook up there. You put your phone, you hit the button, it swings, and you can see yourself in the phone.
Okay.
Or a pad. Hook a pad. You flip the image, and you can see yourself in it.
Uber back to New Orleans, too.
All right, we just hit that target, guys, if you're in TQ. So we hit it. Boom. R size extreme. Take some down there. Next target is way up in here. Probably around 3160. So I think you see how I do this. I'm down to, let me see how many shares. Down to 400 from 1,000. So I've scaled out of 600. First sale, I sold 300, and then 100, and then 50, and then 50, and then 50, and then I think 50. I don't want to lie there. But now I'm down to selling in increments of 25 because I want to ride it all the way up, and I don't want to get out until I get an actual stage 4 sell signal. I'm not trying to be smart and clever and think I'm catching the very top and, oh, I got my little $100. I'm happy with that. No, 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 no. If the market wants to give me 1,000, let's take 1,000. So let it run, man. I hope that I obnoxiously say that, but it's to drive it home. Look, it's going to keep going. Now, what if we did this over here? Oh, I'm up 100, so I'm going to take the money and run. Now, look, now you would have been up 200, but so let it do what it's going to do. Actually, that's not 200. If you got in over here, that'd be what? What did I get in at? $31.33. No, that's not right. Hold on. Oh, 31.18. Is that right? And 31.14. Yep. So on the breakout, right here and here. That last fill was not good at all. So even with a terrible fill, it's working out, man. Have to drop. Thank you for your knowledge. All right, Chris, be good, man. Good luck on your Boyle trade. I appreciate you guys, man. Let's listen to a little Buffett on the way out, and we'll let this play for a second. If you want.
All kinds of business. There's all kinds of business I don't understand, but there's thousands of opportunities there. I did understand the Bank of America, you know, and I'll be able. I'm able to do that. If you think you're going out of X, you're probably making a mistake. I mean, you ought to find something you like that works with that, and you'll get in trouble if you think that making 10x or 20x is the answer to everything in life, because then you will do things, borrow money when you shouldn't, or maybe cut corners on things that your employer. Ted Williams wrote a book called The Science of Hitting, and in The Science of Hitting, he's got a diagram, shows him at the plate, and he's got the strike zone divided into 77 squares, each the size of a baseball. And he says, if I only swing at pitches in my sweet zone, which he shows there, and he has what his batting average would be. Pitches, but still in the strike zone, his average would be 230. He said the most important thing in hitting is waiting for the right pitch. In investing, there's no called strikes. People can throw Microsoft at me, and you name it, any stock, General Motors, and I don't have to swing, and nobody's going to call me out on called strikes. I only get this, so I can wait there and look at thousands of companies day after day, and only when I see something I understand, when I like the price at which it's selling. If I swing, if I hit it, fine. If I miss it, it's a strike. But it's an enormously advantageous game, and it's a terrible mistake to think you have to have an opinion on everything. You only have to have an opinion on a few things. In fact, I've told students, if when they got out of school, they got a punch.
We just broke through there. If you noticed that, we just broke through. Remember I said 31.40 to be the next. So the next one would be 31.60. If we were to get there, that would be a big push. So I don't see that happening. I think we would top out, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because remember, we've been scaling down. So I'm down to like, I think 425 shares, something like that. Let's get back to Buffett.
With 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life. You don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 will probably do it over time. So I don't worry too much about the things I don't understand. There's a whole bunch of things I don't know a thing about. I just stay away from those. Tom Watson said it best. He said, he said, I'm no genius, but I'm smart in spots, and I stay around those spots. Well, I try and stay around those spots, and I just don't have a problem if somebody says, you're wrong on something. I go back and look at the facts. I think that really is much more important, frankly, than having a few points of IQ or having an extra course or two in school or anything of the sort. You need emotional stability.
The first rule in investment is don't lose. And the second rule in investment is don't forget the first rule, and that's all the rules there are. I mean, if you buy things for far below what they're worth, and you buy a group of them, you basically don't lose money.
Biggest mistakes people make when investing.
Well, they try to, they just don't realize that all you have to do is fly across Susquehanna America and then never listen to people like me or read the papers or do anything subsequently. You know, they think that because you can trade, you should trade. Buy an apartment house, you can't resell it tomorrow. You know, the cost of moving around. Or now you get something handed to you, liquidity, you know, which is instant. You can sell. The cost of doing it are pennies, you know, compared to other kinds of investment activity. So because they can so easily move around, they do move around, and moving around it.
Warren, what do you consider the most important quality for an investment manager? It's the temperamental quality, not an intellectual quality. You don't need tons of IQ in this business. I mean, you have to have enough IQ to get from here to downtown Omaha, but you do not have to be able to play three-dimensional chess or be in the top leagues in terms of bridge playing or something of the sort. You need a stable personality. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. Because this is not a business where you take polls, it's a business where you think. And Ben Graham would say that you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people agree with you. And you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people disagree with you. You're right because your facts and your reasoning are right.
I've said many times that if you get to be 65 or 70 and later, and the people that you want to have love you actually do love you, you're a success. I've never seen anybody that reaches that age. I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that's in extreme poverty.
Notice the 5-day, 10-day are starting to come together. You notice that right there? That may have tricked people. I always want to wait for confirmation. And you see what happens. It came right back up. So often you'll see that, and then it'll turn right around and just keep going higher. Not always, but enough that I like to wait for a confirmation.
Pain or something, but I've never seen anybody that, if they have a lot of people that love them, that is other than happy. And I've seen some very, very wealthy people that they give testimonial letters to and name schools after and everything. Nobody loves them. No.
The real test of whether you're investing from a value standpoint or not is whether you care whether the stock market is open tomorrow. If you're making a good investment in a security, it shouldn't bother you if they close down the stock market for 5 years. All the ticker tells me is the price. And I can look at the price occasionally to see whether the price is outlandishly cheap or outlandishly high. But prices don't tell me anything about a business. Business figures themselves tell me something about a business, but the price of a stock doesn't tell me anything about a business. I would rather value a stock or a business first and not even know the price, so that I'm not influenced by the price in establishing my valuation, and then look at the price later to see whether it's way out of line with what my value is.
What are, say, 3 pieces of advice you would give to people who are looking to succeed in business?
Well, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, that, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come, they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas, all that. If they just learn to communicate better, both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. You know, I mean, you can't communicate. Somebody says, you know, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, you know, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas. It's just.
All right, you see this, right? This sell-off here, that'll shake people out, man. That does not shake me out. That little pullback. I'm trying to I'm up $80. I'm not trying to save $80, man. These are the big runs are what's going to make you, because you're going to do these little entries and you're going to get stopped out. You're going to lose $60. You're going to do another entry. You're going to get stopped out. You're going to lose $60. You're going to do another entry. You're going to get stopped out. You're going to lose $50, $60. So then you catch one and it runs 100 and you want to protect it. Well, if you don't let it make 200, 300, 400 when it runs, you're not going to make up for those whipsaws. So these little couple whipsaws over here, this run way more than makes up for that. And the same on this side here too. You know, we had one here, fell down, broke, stopped out. Well, then look at this run here. It way makes up for that. So part of my strategy is knowing that at times, don't fuck it up when it's running. Don't fuck it up when it's going up. Like, don't stop it. Let it go, man. Let it make you money. Be safe, babe. Don't stop it when it's making you money, man. You know. All right, man. You guys be good. I got to do some phone consults, man. Do some one-on-one. So appreciate you. If you schedule one with me, man, I look forward to talking to you. You guys be good.
Really important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Are you comfortable today with what you're giving? I mean, does it feel
It's exactly what I want
does
to
it
do.
feel like the right thing to be
It's the
doing
right thing. It's the right thing because it's going to people who believe in Gates, for example, that every life is of equal value. I mean, the truth is, I've got a lot of wealth, little pieces of paper with Berkshire Hathaway. They're claim checks on all kinds of goods and services in the world. They can buy anything. I could buy 400-foot yachts and 20 homes and all that. I wouldn't be happier, but they can buy anything. Once they move into the hands of people who are working like hell on getting something accomplished in areas I want them to. You know, I love the idea of getting abused, and that's what they're doing.